Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. It is Friday. This will be an informal show, not one of our NFL preview shows because it's Friday. And we are joined by a very special guest, casino magnate, Derek Stevens. Mogul, magnate. What's more impressive?
Both good.
I don't even know what either one of those means. I'm just a guy at the end of the bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
He has a spot at the bar.
You're living the dream, which is you get to the point in your life where you're like, you know what? I'm going to buy some casinos, and then I'm going to build the best of them for the sports bettor because you identify with us. We are at our heart, care most about sports betting, and you provide a place for that at Circa for any limit bettor, which is huge. Hole in the market. So we appreciate your hospitality and thank you for joining us today. We're here to support the contest. We signed up yesterday. Looking forward to seeing you again in January when you hand
Very good.
But
it could be if you signed up for Grandissimo, maybe I'll see you in October.
Halloween, we could catch that. We're trying to predict what that one will go. Yeah, obviously you're not allowed to enter, but you are allowed to prognosticate the final total.
Yeah.
What's the updated,
we've got
updated
20 Circa Grandissimos already.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm aware of 6 more individuals that have scheduled appointments. So I don't know. We get to 26 or do we get to 30? If we get to 30, what would the range be? I mean, if it was last year, it could have ended in September.
Yeah.
If it's another year, maybe it goes through Thanksgiving. I don't know. It kind of depends upon the year. I mean, I think you have to play more conservatively.
I was just going to ask you that.
In Circa Grandissimo because that's going to be one of the most interesting things for me to follow because I love following the contestants. Yeah. But you have somebody that has 10 Circa Survivors and 1 Circa Grandissimo. They very well may have a certain strategy on specific weeks with Circa Survivor, but it's very different than Circa Grandissimo because I think Circa Grandissimo, the value of Christmas is much lower.
Oh, yeah.
The value of Thanksgiving is much lower.
Of course.
To the point where if you have a chance, we've got 3 teams playing both Thanksgiving and Christmas time. I don't know that I'm saving them if I'm in Grandissimo and I have an opportunity to shoot one of them. So I think it changes the game. The strategy is going to be awesome to watch.
Well, just the size, we play Survivor. We play Survivor in smaller groups. And if you're playing in a smaller group versus if you're playing against, how many entries do you think we'll ultimately get in the Survivor?
The big one.
In the big one, we're pacing now maybe north of 16 or something, 16 million.
Okay, so if you're playing against a pool that big, you almost have to weave in a contrarian strategy.
Yeah. At some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Well, it's like March Madness. We've talked about this 100 times. You're playing with 10 of your buddies, you can go chalky. Pick one of the favorites to win the final. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then, if you're playing for 1 million people and you're trying to win this huge prize from ESPN, you got to get kind of weird with it.
Yeah.
It's different, but also like Derek said, this isn't the same thing. You also have that we're building backwards from Christmas. We're building backwards from Thanksgiving in our strategy when we're talking. And like you said, do you even think about Christmas in the Grandissimo? My prediction for that is like the same thing where you have those first 4 weeks and it gets real rocky. And then I could see a scenario where there's like 2 or 3 left and they stretch it out for like another 6. And it just, it's like 3 really good players and they have a lot of teams left and they realize like I can get kind of chalky with this and just keep up with these guys and wait for a week and get contrarian and see what my EV is on getting weird with it.
Well, you kind of expressed a little bit what happened last year. I mean, so many people got knocked out early, but by the time you got to the middle of November through December, not a lot of people got knocked out.
Sure.
So, one thing I found interesting last year with Circa Survivor, and you kind of see it more when you watch the whole year in review, with the documentary that's out there. Now out on YouTube, Circa Survivor, the quest for 14.2 million. You forget certain elements, and when you rewatch the year, I guess it's like rereading a book or rewatching something. You see some other things, but I kind of had forgotten that on week 1 last year, there were 31 of the 32 teams selected, and it really made me think, like, wait a second, this is a little bit too crazy. This is like it's like the first. It's like a Thursday at the Masters. On the first hole, you cannot win the Masters on the first hole on Thursday. It just, you can't. So it doesn't make sense.
John Rahm tried to lose it and he
Yeah.
still won. He still won.
But taking a 6-8 point underdog on week one, I don't know what you gain. You might have buried a team that you're never going to ever play again, but your incremental value is not that high relative to taking something simple.
Maybe the Thursday game. I could see it if they did the Thursday game, if they were going to rebuy. That's like the one thing. But no, to your point, it's really those first 4 weeks. It is really, I got to get through this batch, because if you make power numbers and you have ratings for teams, I'm sure you're doing a great job of it, but you're in the dark with us. And once we get to 4 weeks, everybody has a much clearer picture. Like we had a terrible rating for the Commander 4 weeks in. This is good. This is one of the good teams. So you gotta make it through those first 4 weeks where everyone's still feeling out who's going to surprise us both ways. And then when you get there, then you have a picture and you can go with your rating.
Best laid plans. But can I ask you, when you first conceived of taking on the contest space and really creating this, which is, as far as I know, the only way to win $15 million in sports betting in one swing is to win the Circa Survivor contest. Did you envision that it was going to spin off a whole nother economy of people literally getting picks deep into the contest and then selling those picks, and people splitting stake and hedging? There's almost a whole secondary economy that is
cottage industry.
Yeah, that I doubt that the overall economy gets to 15 million, but it's certainly non-trivial. Is this a surprise to you, or is this how you ultimately saw this going?
We ultimately thought that hedging was going to be a part of it. We thought that was, for us putting this thing together and not taking a rake. Yeah. We thought, okay, well, as we work our way deeper into the season, there would be contestants that would want to hedge and all that. So we kind of thought that would be the normal course of action. The secondary market of buying, selling shares, and that was not ever a consideration.
You had too many poker players in the
we officially have nothing to do with that.
Of course, it's all.
And I would definitely say buyer beware, seller beware.
Have a lawyer.
Because at Sunday, the one thing we don't want is we don't want somebody coming up to the window and saying, "Hey, I just won this," and then another guy saying, "Well, I'm 20%." I'm like, "Wait a second, we're paying 100% to this one."
The name on the account gets it.
Yeah, and if that particular person who signed up, whose name is on the account, says, "Yeah, I signed up, but I've got 4 other friends that are 10% each. They're all here. They all have to give their ID. They all have to do that, and that's how it works out." That's okay. But when you have the guy says, I'm 60% and I sold 40%, and then there's 7 guys coming in saying I got 10. Well, the math doesn't work out. We got to avoid those problems.
Yeah, that's like sportsbook overround. We went a little above per 100%.
No, I'm glad you said you.
It reminds me. It does remind me, and I guarantee there's plenty of people that are playing these contests that are big poker players. It's the same thing. Selling stakes in themselves in big tournaments, and obviously poker players getting to the final table. There's 2-3 of us left. Let's chop 80% of this and play for the other 20. That's happened. Yeah. It's the same kind of gamblers.
I like the fact you're wearing that hat, and the reason why I love you wearing that hat is because with your show and the very smart people that follow you and watch your show, I really think that Millions is a bit undersold. Circa Survivor is obviously the one, it grabs the headlines, the massive quantity. But when you think about Millions, the worst case scenario is it pays out at par. But really, I think there's more positive EV in Millions than the other contests, because you got a decent amount of no picks. Maybe as many percentage wise as what you would get in Circa Survivor. But here's the real thing that's amazing to me is in Circa Millions, you still got 20% of the pot goes out in the quarters. And there are people that still throw the towel in or forget their password by the end of October. That by the time you get to the third and fourth quarter, you're maybe looking at, you may have 1,000 people not putting picks in. I realize it's not the biggest portion of it, but really this is Circa Million is 5 contests. and the overlay in the third and fourth quarter is crazy.
Yeah,
you just make like 3 times your entry fee back. Like, if somebody's handed me that right now, I might be like, oh, you know what? I quit. I'll shake hands on that right now.
I had the most fun context experience of my life. Fourth quarter, week 1, 0-5. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm going for the fourth quarter booby.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I ran like wildfire. 0-5. 0-5. I'm like, oh my God, I might actually win this.
Yeah, running hot by running cold. That was fun. That was a fun chase.
I was correctly picking the wrong picks after going 0-5 incorrectly. Ended up splitting it with the guy. And I was like, man, I cannot believe there was utility this late in the season with a dead entry. Like, this is unbelievably cool.
The quarter prize.
The millions is incredibly fun. So
it's similar to people finding ways to keep people engaged deep into a fantasy football season. With booby prizes. You need it's better for everybody if everybody still puts their.
I got an important question for you before we let you go. You mentioned, and I'm glad you said it because I kind of assumed it. Like the overlay and the millions, a lot of that is coming back and people hedging as you get deep into the season and they know they're gonna score. How does that entire environment change with like the potential of a tax law for reducing the amount of losses that you can offset against your winning?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so much going on in the gambling space right now. I mean, you've got issues with the CFTC. You've got issues with, are the leagues going to get cut out? I got a hard time believing that. The data providers like Genius and Sport Radar, they're not providing data to these exchanges. The teams aren't going to get cut out, I don't believe. And then you get into this 90% tax deduction, separate issue. That impacts the gaming industry as a whole. It impacts slot players. It dramatically impacts the casino industry, and obviously it impacts poker players. It impacts sports bettors. I think that what happened when this thing got passed on 4th of July weekend, something took place that in a 900-page bill there were some unintended consequences, and I think there's been a lot of effort on behalf of members of the House of Representatives on both sides. What's your
congressman or congresswoman?
Dina Titus.
Seeing her all over.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been talking about it pretty regularly. She's had some events here, but she's done a nice job getting members on both sides of the aisle to join in, and actually even getting some senators, both Republican and Democrat. This is not a partisan issue in any way. This is an unintended consequence that effectively no one wants. No one wants this, other than potentially offshore. And that doesn't do anybody any good. Yeah. So I'm very hopeful that there will be an adjustment and a change made, probably around Christmas time, right before the end of the year.
All right, that's the optimism I needed to hear. Thank you, nice. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again in January when we come to pick up the check.
All right, congratulations! You
appreciate the time.
Keynote on the panel, man. It's awesome. I can't wait for Saturday to watch it.
That's going to be great. I've been saving my best takes for that.
There we go. All right, see you guys.
Enjoy the rest of your media barnstorming tour.
All right.
Fun deal, Friday rips on. All right, man. And and again, before you go, congrats in Missouri. What a coup!
Yeah, well done.
I bet that was a process. Oh, I went the wrong way. All right. Grab the other mic.
Good work.
Grab the other mic. We're gonna continue Friday because
that absolutely kind of continues to stir the juices of strategy for Survivor. I'm excited to talk about that all season this year as we kind of work out optimal strategy. But you're right, like you got to get through the first 4 weeks this year, and then it gets harder because there's bye weeks.
Your information blindness for the first couple weeks is probably leading you to be more conservative for the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then you can, with more information, you're able to say, and it's not just I have more information on this team's good, so now I can use them, and maybe they were borderline.
Yeah.
It's matchups.
Yeah.
Like this team has a much worse secondary than I ever thought possible. When we went
like the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, or there's some injuries, and suddenly it's like, this isn't team was a -1 and now they're a -11. And it's a clear bang spot for a Survivor. It's like this team's still a -4, but they have a massive matchup against a bad secondary with their star receivers or something. And it's like this is probably a pretty good leverage spot because they're going to be underutilized in this part of the contest. And, we just have more information about all these teams and, better matchups down the stretch as far as leveraging your picks against the consensus.
As it stands now, if things end up even remotely chalky as far as like team ratings and sorting, the strategy for Survivor broadly, you're going to have to make it to the end. Period. You're not a Grandissimo. You could probably win week 8 or 9 or something like that, right? It's a small enough pool, but to get to the Survivor 20 million, and Derek, by the way, very what do you call it? Conservative with his estimate of entries. From what I can tell you, they're well on pace to blow through 16.
I think Derek is a under promise, over deliver kind of guy.
Promise, over deliver, yeah. To get to the end of Survivor, you're almost certainly starting with Thanksgiving and Christmas. There's 8 teams that count for Thanksgiving, 6 for Christmas. The matchups are obviously they're compelling matchups, so they're kind of close and interesting and good games, right? Yeah. There's not going to be huge, opportunity, except for the fact that the Cowboys are playing on both.
Yeah,
I could not be cooler on a team than I am on the Cowboys. I don't think relative to market, people are no one's talking about America's team. No one's talking about the Cowboys. And I'm like, that defense might be 32nd. They probably are 32nd.
Their best defensive player doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. And honestly, great. You have Micah Parsons. He's an absolute machine. So what if you have 20 other holes and defense is a weakling system? Yeah. There's so many ways you can move the ball on those. Anyway, the Cowboys are playing the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, and they're playing the Commanders on Christmas. I think you almost certainly have to keep Commanders and Chiefs in your pocket to use against the Cowboys in those 2 spots once we realize how bad the Cowboys defense is.
Yeah.
The optimal path almost always kind of points to Eagles against the Bears on Black Friday, but I'm a little bit I think that's a good contrarian take against that one and use the Eagles elsewhere. And so I'm basically save Chiefs, save Commanders for the 2 holidays.
I think,
go ahead.
It kind of makes me think too, because my mind is, a beautiful mind over here. I'm thinking 8 different ways, and I'm not even thinking of Survivor. I want to ask some of you people, because we don't have this in stone yet, our content schedule for the season.
Sure.
And we've discussed this, what's good content? What do you want? Because obviously most of you who listen like the Wednesday show. We go through every team. We talk about our picks. We talk about reasons. We talk about matchups. We hopefully give you some information on injuries and news and keep you up to date if you missed anything. That's the job. But, and we have done these daily shows over the summer. We talked about doing some market updates and stuff and keeping that going. But I would be curious what people would want for, if millionaire content is, something that people are wanting to hear, if Survivor content is something they want to hear, because we don't. Literally, my boss won't hear this. He doesn't listen. He's not a listener. He's too busy doing it. We have fucking zero oversight. I could start a show and nobody would know for a month. We could just start a different show.
We did over the summer.
We did. Yeah, we did the daily show. I didn't ask anybody. Somebody at work's are you doing a podcast every day now? But yeah, so we can do whatever we want. And we would. I think some of the idea. And again, I want to hear from you guys on the Twitter, in the Discord, in the comments here. What would be helping you to handicap and bet football this year if we were able to do some daily podcasts, if it was market rundowns, injury updates. I think we definitely on Fridays, Drew and I have an entry in the millions that we split.
Yeah.
We're splitting on it, and we're going to do some fun trying to figure out how to put those 5 picks in as a team, because it's when the Simpsons, when they all bought that comic book together and they got to figure it out. It's going to be difficult because we disagree on a lot of stuff. That's the nature
Andy's
of the beast.
wrong a lot.
I am. Yeah, we have been wrong once in a while. So it'll be. I think Fridays we're gonna have to talk a little millions and just kind of let you know here's what we're thinking for the week and argue a little. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're soliciting interest and opinion from the listeners. We're just gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really. I want to talk about it and make collaborative picks, and I think we're just gonna do it.
This is one I've heard a lot about, and I think. I think the real tentative plan is daily shows like we've been doing.
Yeah.
Try to keep them to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Monday, injury update from the weekend.
Yeah.
Plus openers. Tuesday, more of that. Like, all right,
market.
We know a little more about the market. It's still early in the week, but we're going to give you a market update. We're going to update any serious injuries that matter, any storylines. Again, 20 minutes. I think Wednesday or Thursday, that you're not going to be able to talk for 20 minutes about the market every day. We can still touch on that every day. Hey, there's like 3 moves that need a real quick talking about, but I think Wednesday or Thursday definitely we could.
Thursday awards.
We do awards.
Yeah,
that has been numerous people have brought that up. I think we will get into awards for sure every week because it's just a fun. And I think it'll be like, hey, rookie of the year. Not much to say. This kid is running away with it. I don't see a play because everyone down the board. It's hard to predict right now, and we'll just run through the big awards and spend probably 2 minutes on each, and then 10 minutes on protector of the year each week. That's going to be such a hard one because there's no history on the voting, but it's going to be fun. I will bet.
I mean, it's going to be Penny Sewell. I wouldn't overthink it.
It might be just be chalk in that one.
Seriousness though, like I don't know if I honestly think it's going to go to the best offensive lineman on the best perceived line.
Yeah,
the Lions lost 2 All-Pros. I don't know if ultimately the Lions are going to be perceived as the best lineman, and so that may be a demerit for Penny Sewell. But no, we'll I think next Friday. Do you want to dedicate the Friday show to like a full-on awards rundown?
Yes, we'll do. Right. Next Friday we'll do a longer one.
Awards.
Okay. 40 minutes. Okay. Maybe an hour. Who knows?
Like we did with us last year.
Could be an hour and a half.
Prices, this is what we want.
We'll go through all the awards because we've touched on it here and there.
Yeah.
But we haven't done a full.
I'll solicit input from Mr. Croucher as well.
I just haven't. I haven't spent a lot of time on a couple of them.
Sure.
And I'd like to spend more time on them next week anyway. So.
Absolutely agreed. Okay,
next week's schedule is going to be a little fucked though because of travel. So we're still doing all 4 previews, but it may be 2 per day on 2 different days because I have to go to the Great Minnesota Get Together on Thursday. Drew has some traveling to the East Coast for NBC stuff. So it might be what we're saying: 2 on Monday, 2 on Wednesday, or something.
2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday. I think
2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday.
We're gonna rip out the miserable AFC South in 2 days. We're just gonna pull it off like a Band-Aid.
Friday we will do a big awards, and then the week after. Wednesday.
It's time.
The Wednesday show, and we'll probably start on those morning podcasts.
Yep.
So again, the feedback is great, and like we said, we're still going to do what we want, but the feedback, the feedback is good because it helps. You're doing our job. Ultimately, if you want listeners, you got to give people stuff they want to listen to. So tell us, what would be beneficial to you and help you make good bets, have fun, enjoy your. Some people, you're not in this to get rich. You have a real job. This is a very fun hobby for you. Yeah. You don't want to lose money on it. Like, what makes the NFL betting experience for you this year the best? Yeah, no, it is awards. Everyone fucking loves awards.
Well, no, I think you scored on the format. Monday injuries, Tuesday market, Wednesday long form, Thursday awards market, and then Friday contests.
Yep.
Yeah, that's sick. I love that. Sorry, Friday contest and wine of the week, of course.
And wine of the week.
Which brings us all the way around.
Oh my God, what are we going to do? A headache from last night.
Andy, the long national nightmare is over. Andy's returning to his family. he has some stories. His family adopted goats while he was gone. He hasn't even met his goats.
I was telling Drew, I'm like the guy in the World War II movie who here's my girl and a picture of my boy. I've never met him. I left my pregnant wife to come here to France and fight the Jerrys. So I have these goats that we've had for like a week and a half. I've never met them. I've never met my baby goat, Zelda and Peach. So I gotta get home and meet my goats. My kids are gonna expect some presents, obviously.
Well, last night
I'm excited.
Andy's last night in Las Vegas after a month here. We're gonna do some seafood. I think that was a great call by you. We'll go to top seafood spot.
The unabated sim thing. We should do that next.
We'll
do that. We'll do that next week because if we do it off the air and have it ready, we can just talk real quick about where our numbers led us. That's a fun one. Good call, Johan.
Yeah. Last year would have led to a lot of terrible bets.
Yeah. It was like, hey, Andy. Actually, mine would have been a lot of Seattle. I was high on Seattle.
I think I was.
And I did hedge out. I bet some of that, and I hedged out with some Rams.
Yeah. Okay.
So that didn't turn out terrible. But if I would have bet as much as it told me to on the Falcons,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been wearing this very nice Hawaiian shirt.
Well, you could have gotten out of it in season though, because the Falcons at one point.
Well, we did bet.
odds.
We did bet Tampa Bay.
Sure. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna do seafood tonight. As far as wine goes, it's probably pick a white to go with.
I'm gonna agree. Pinot Gris.
Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I was definitely thinking Italian white. My Italian.
Oh,
I mean, we had.
Do you want to do a prosecco? You want to do sparkling? I don't like that at all. That's terrible.
No. No.
Chardonnay is too. That doesn't fit.
No, we want something minerally. We want something. I would either tack into like French white probably.
What's the Spanish one I like?
Chenin Blanc. No, Albarino.
Albarino
is good.
They have a big wine list over it. We're going to the Chart House, the Nugget, which is a very nice little seafood joint. Huge aquarium. Last time we went, scared the hell out of me, out of my periphery. Suddenly there's a man in the aquarium. What the fuck? And it was the diver cleaning the tank. It scared me bad.
What a job though. Can you imagine? Scuba diver
I bet
cleaning the aquarium.
I bet he cleans tanks all over the place.
Well, they have a bunch of aquariums at the
out,
Gold
out
Nugget.
at
He's
pool.
probably just going from tank to tank to tank over the course of a week.
Yeah, we did love. I think we both loved the Lions based on the Sims too last year.
That's true.
I have it written down somewhere. I took I scraped the data and pulled every bet it told me to make. And I mean, it was 200 bets and so much overlap. Bet the Lions over, bet the Lions alt over, bet, it was 17 bets of the same team.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't go full Lions. Don't go full Atlanta.
Well, and you're
Pinot Gris then?
Yeah, well, no, let's do
Albarino,
Vermentino, or Chenin Blanc. We'll see what we can find.
We'll see what we got over there. I am going to take a nap.
We're gonna go minerally white with some seafood. Final night base. We had incredible meal at Bavette's Steakhouse last night.
Holt has a question.
A killer.
Bavette's at the MGM Park.
Yeah.
Could not recommend them higher.
We had an Hermitage red, a Syrah. That was real, smoky.
I didn't even know what the wines were. They were
smoky.
I couldn't hear the guy who's pouring them.
Gamey, peppery, smoky, gamey Hermitage. That was awesome. And then we went to what did we do next? We had a Alexander Valley Cab Sauv.
First person who can guess what cut of steak I ordered wins a shout out from me.
Yeah, win some free swag. We picked up a lot of swag.
Keeping those. I'm keeping that hat. That's a good one. Yeah, the SGPN guys gave us some very cool hats. So it's nice. We don't get a lot of swag. We're supposed to be the ones handing it out. And if we do this next year, we're definitely gonna come up with some deep dive swag to give away for sure.
What was Holt's question? Oh yeah,
I said I hate halftime's still a thing.
I think
Holt.
right?
I love doing halftimes. I would do halftimes for free if I didn't work in the industry.
Andy got his home internet upgraded, so he can do more from the boat.
We're on. I'm on Starlink. I think Filet Medallion is a good guess.
That's what I had.
That is what Drew and I think Calhoun
had that too. Yeah.
But you want to hear the craziest move? This is, and I'm outing a guy, and I don't give a shit because he doesn't care. But anyone who knows Link Calhoun from Twitter, he's sitting next to me. He has his filet. I have my steak, which I'm not going to tell people was. I had it cut into pieces because I was into the last little part of it. 2 or 3 pieces left. Finally, one piece left. I look down and it's gone. And there's a piece of filet sitting there in its place. And Cal's like, "Oh, I want to try yours, so I swapped you." He'd cut a big chunk out of his filet. He'd swap me meat like we were alley cats. It was a hilarious move. And I mean, it was buttery soft filet. It was very good. But,
the filet was outstanding. Yeah.
Oh man, it's funny. You know what? Anyone who's ever eaten in the art district at Esther's, the last time I went to Esther's Kitchen, I had goat. And it was very, very good.
Oh, you did?
I did. I had some
you get the goat.
I had
it was like a goat ragu.
It was like braised goat with some sort of. It was very, very good. Yeah, the half times are a ton of fun, and with I had the internet I was using on the boat was 5G. Yeah. I was not hooked up to my Wi-Fi. The 5G was faster, but now with the Starlink, oh man, it's pretty damn quick out there. I mean, we saw I made fried green tomatoes, so. Should be able to. It'll be a little more easy for me to do half times if I don't have to drive to my office every time.
Yeah, excellent.
That'll be great.
You also you still owe people a cooking demonstration. Maybe you should do it for the Ryder Cup.
Didn't do the cookie. Yeah. What's a
Ryder Cup Friday?
What's a food native to Long Island? Staten Island. Is Beth Page on Staten?
No, Long
Island. Yeah. Staten Island's not a real place.
There's no golf courses. As far
Long
as
Island.
Staten
Well, I could. You know what? Maybe we do a drink. Maybe I make the iced tea.
Ooh.
That's not actually from Long Island. I think they just call it that. Those were. If anyone's ever been to the Brookings, South Dakota, about 20 years ago, there was a bar called the Lantern. They had something called the Lantern Tea, and those would. I mean, it was. They used a thimble to put the Coke in. You know, it was so much liquor.
It was literally they pulled the
Oh, my
bar
God.
mat and they just poured it into
Lantern
a glass for you.
tea, yeah.
And they put
Those are just
little-
Long Island iced
Coke
tea.
in.
Just what if we burn it with all 4 kinds of liquor?
I love it.
Final question: any U.S. Open nuggets? I think if Drew did record with Gil the other day. If you want to go find that for longer form,
The men's draw fucking sucked. I was really pissed with how all the kind of interesting players ended up in Sinner and Alcaraz's quarter, which makes betting quarters in the men's draw no fun. Fritz, I think, wins Q3. I think Zverev wins Q2. I think it's going to go pretty mega chalky, and Sinner wins in the men's, I hope. On the women's side, I'm going to take some Osaka in Q3. I think she's a little bit undersold as far as how well she's played on hard court in the last 52 weeks. So Osaka over Keys and Goff in Q3 is a fun one. Iga, I think, wins ultimately. Sabalenka, Rybakina. I have some Rybakina 10-1. I wouldn't really add more, knowing she has to go through Sabalenka in Q1 to get there. But Q2 wide open. I think Pagula probably wins Q2. At least that price, she looks like the bet. So, the U.S. Open draw was kind of a disappointment, both men's and women's, as far as like really opening up some awesome betting value. But it broke well for Iga. So if you're an Iga Swiatek fan, I think you're sitting pretty that she should be a healthy favorite to win the title.
I did not have the old 96er. I have eaten some big steaks, and honestly, like, Durso got a pretty big steak.
Oh yeah, he got a huge cut.
It had like a bone-in ribeye or something. Jesus Christ!
That was good.
I ordered the flank steak. It was under the Wagyu section. It was the steak, flank steak frite, and it was
Wagyu.
the Wagyu is amazing. I don't think I've ever ordered a flank steak in my life, but my God, it was so good. Ask Cal; he stole some of it. It was very, very good. And everything there was good. We had oysters. We had some cream spinach, which always crushes. We had
Dirty
some
martini was good.
steak tartare.
Yeah.
What was our other appy? Everything was so good. Everything was good. I can't recommend that place enough.
Yeah, that was a great time.
And I think we're gonna go into the pool, guys.
All right, let's do it.
Appreciate all the comments.
Have
if you
a
have
great
any
weekend.
more, if you have any more ideas, I'd love ideas, and we'll see how we can incorporate it. We're on Twitter. You know our fucking Twitter handles. We're on Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you know our Twitter handles. Ask to get in the Discord.
What's
Leave
your
it in the
Twitter?
comments.
No,
Andy's.
I think everybody knows.
Andy's.
All right, man.
So we'll see you guys. I like you all.
Look at
I'm
that,
gonna go.
32 minutes.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
That show flew by.
I'm gonna go to the
32
pool.
minutes. So long. I think they're gonna